Message from Matthew Ward via Susie Ward, February 6, 2017. With loving greetings from all souls at this station, this is Matthew. Contentiousness regarding the United States President's policies shows a sharply divided nation and a wary world, and just as world peace starts with one person having peace of mind and heart, then another and another, so it is with unity of spirit in a global society. Never does this mean agreeing with ideologies or condoning actions that violate your principles and values. On the contrary, introspection illuminates aspects of self that need to be strengthened for conscious and spiritual growth, and this includes embracing similarities that unite instead of differences that divide. Emails sent to my mother since the election reflect various concerns of many people in the U.S. and of citizens elsewhere as to how the new administration's agenda will affect their countries. While we knew that the extraordinary standoff of the high and low vibrations in this situation could not long continue, there was no clarity in the energy field of potential as to how it would unfold to serve the highest good of all. Then, lo and behold, it was as if the two vibratory camps said, "Shall we dance?" The day after the inauguration ceremony, Earth was ablaze with light. Known as the Women's March, men, young adults and children joined women in hundreds of cities throughout the U.S. and some in several other countries. It was not only the many areas or the millions of marchers who represented the spectrum of societal diversity that so remarkably lit up the planet, it also was their unified purpose. The media publicized the events as anti-Trump protests, but we don't see it that way. The harmonious marchers weren't protesting what they don't want, they were giving their power to what they do want: peace, equality, respect, healthcare and legal rights for everyone in your world, clean energy to preserve the planet. A few days later, an executive order that imposed a 90-day specific travel ban evoked quite different reactions around the world: anger, fear and confusion. The low-level vibrations emitted by those strong emotions are offset by the light in the protesters' compassion for all who are personally affected, and a higher purpose is being served as well. The ban acted like a strobe light to bring to the world's attention the wrongs in its discrimination, and this is a firm stride toward transmuting the energy of divisiveness into the energy of unity. All of you are inextricably connected at soul level, thus what harms one, harms all. What benefits one, benefits all. So, not always are things as they seem. You have a saying, every cloud has a silver lining, which suggests that something positive can exist even in a situation that appears to be entirely the opposite. Indeed. Often we have urged you, do not fear, and to all who wrote to my mother about their fears for their families and the world, we say please don't feel fearful about anything. Be ever mindful that the energy of the powerful emotion is a two-edged sword. It is the fuel that empowers the dark ones, and the universal law of attraction that is in constant motion pertains personally and globally. The energy of fearful thoughts and feelings brings back more fearful situations. Conversely, the energy of confidence and optimism brings light-filled sensations and improved circumstances. Historically, beneficial change hasn't started at the top and trickled down, it has started with grassroots efforts and surged upward. Feel heartened by knowing that movements to right wrongs and uplift the weak and downtrodden are growing in numbers and success around the globe. Fits and starts and occasional detours along the path of progress will be evident a while longer, but pockets of opposition will become fewer as vibrations cannot long support anything with dark intent. It won't happen overnight, but ultimately only people acting in consonance with the light and light-based activities will prevail. Bernie Sanders and the philosophies he espouses are within those parameters, so let us digress a bit and reply to readers' questions about him. He supported Hillary Clinton because he felt she was the better of the two nominees, and he spoke in her favor only after the Democratic National Committee agreed to include as party planks the issues of importance to his supporters. Yes, he did discover that vote count in numerous primaries was rigged and in moments regrets not challenging that on behalf of the majority who voted for him. He has no idea that if the cheating had been exposed, vibrations would have carried him to the presidency in a landslide victory. He doesn't know if he will run for president in 2020, However, he intends to remain in the public eye as a strong advocate and congressional voice for the reforms that gained him so many adherents. Now then, let us speak about those who feel they are inadequate lightworkers because they can't participate in marches or be active in progressive organizations or financially support worthy causes. Dear ones, by sending light to those who can be involved, you amplify their effectiveness tenfold. The light you sent to the marchers and the travel ban protesters had that effect, and it also fortified their determination to continue efforts toward fair and just resolutions. To be sure, many lightworkers were in the crowds those days, but most other participants don't even know that term, nor is it necessary. The light in their passion for the world to become a better place for all is helping that world bloom into fruition. Never underestimate the power of the light you are radiating out into the world. The following is an excerpt from an email written by a reader in London, when I asked the medium about your chaotic political situation. He said evolved spirits don't delve into political matters. If he is right, please ask Matthew why the souls at his station do. That medium is absolutely right if by delve into he means taking partisan sides or trying to influence anyone about an issue. Never has that been our interest, much less intent. In several messages we have said that we are apolitical and non-judgmental. So then, why do we speak about political matters? The peoples of Earth didn't understand why there was perpetual warring that caused so many deaths and extensive destruction, and as weaponry modernized to the point of potential global annihilation, they became increasingly fearful about what lay ahead. They didn't know that their fear was feeding the Dark Ones, furthering their quest to dominate the world and keep reducing the population. They didn't know that their fear was telling the universe they wanted more situations to feel fearful about. Therefore, if ever the civilization were to live freely and joyously in a world restored to health and beauty as Gaia wanted, something had to be done to stop that fear cycle. However, by universal law no spiritually advanced beings can impose their assistance upon any third-density civilization. It must be those people's decision about the kind of world they want and work toward achieving it. And so it was that when the highest universal council planned Earth's golden age in accordance with Gaia's desire, part of the plan called for numerous messengers from the light and their respective receivers to illuminate the reason Earth is in the state it is and how the peoples can change it. Their history doesn't record that down through the ages wars and all forms of oppression were caused by political leaders who were captive of the darkness and kept expanding their empire until they controlled all institutions that impact life on Earth. Our mission is to explain what that secret government and its global network have done and also enlighten you about who you are, unique, inviolate eternal souls inseparably connected with the Supreme Being of this universe and all other souls. Your mission is to share the knowledge with all who are receptive and exemplify that love and unity is the way to a world that fulfills the desires of Earth's civilization. The millennia of dark control are ending because the intensifying light is undergirding the people's desire and will to live in a peaceful world where leaders are honorable, laws are just, diversity is respected and everyone shares in the abundance. Except for the few who attempt to launch nuclear warheads. Creator's gift of free will to every soul takes precedence over all else. It is the collective free will of Earth's peoples that is creating in linear time the fullness of the golden age that already is flourishing in the continuum, and you, dear brothers and sisters, are there to be in the vanguard of this evolutionary journey that the peoples have undertaken. Throughout the years of our messages, many readers have asked us to issue them more frequently, and we cite this most recent request. This is such a confusing, chaotic time. Please start sending your messages weekly so we can know what actually is happening and what is fake news. You are inundated with information, and yes, you do need to know what is factual and what isn't. Free press still report what the Illuminati wants you to think and omit what they don't want you to know, and not everything on the internet is reliable. Much of it is based on ignorance of facts, deliberate falsehoods, including channeled messages claimed to be from evolved beings, articles with distorted data considered to be accurate, or biased opinions presented as factual. So it is understandable that individuals look to sources of information they feel are trustworthy. But becoming dependent upon our messages defeats their purpose of offering enlightenment, guidance and encouragement, so you learn to trust what you know intuitively and no longer need us or any other messengers from the light. An integral part of self-discovery, soul evolvement, is trusting your intuition, messages from soul level to the consciousness, and that is why we often have urged you to go within for answers. Your soul, is part of the mass consciousness wherein everything is known. This cosmic storehouse of knowledge, of intuitive knowing, is just waiting to be revealed when you are consciously ready. If you sense that you are reaching information that is above and beyond your thoughts, so to say, pay attention, your soul is telling you what you need to know at that moment. Some of you have asked how to know if you are interpreting your intuition correctly. Intuition doesn't require interpretation or analysis, it is your initial natural reaction to information. If it flows lightly within your heart space, very likely it is true. If there is a tug of resistance, very likely it is not. Learning to trust innate knowingness may develop quickly, but usually it takes practice, and patience is your ally. Be aware that a mind closed to considering the validity of information that differs from religious or ideological beliefs is a barrier that keeps soul-level knowledge from reaching the consciousness. Beloved family, we cannot say too often that love is the key to the life you want, to the world you are there to help create. If you don't know the myriad ways in which you are expressing love, or perhaps don't remember, reading our message that includes them is sure to lighten your heart. December 9, 2016, lighted beings throughout this universe are cheering you ever forward and supporting you with the unequaled power of unconditional love. _ Love and Peace, Suzanne Ward.